It's- Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. Um, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you had a good holiday, good fourth with your family this weekend. Tony and I kind of had a day of rest, as you can see. We spent yesterday with family, a lot of it outdoors, so we were ready for a day of rest. Um, but I want to talk to you tonight about um, the fact that we were able to have a stone placed in honor of Andrew. Now, I know many of you have already seen the post, and we have heard from some of you that's already been by there to see it. So we just want to say thank you so much for contacting us and let us know that you've seen it. It just means so much to us as a family. So tonight, what I wanted to do is share with you um, how that came to be. So last time I chatted with you guys, I mentioned the fact that our house was in a UPS flight zone, and the fact that that caused me some difficulties. And just to say a little bit about that, the crash site just kind of hung over us, and every time we would hear those planes, especially for me, it would just it would just trigger memories of everything that we heard the neighbors say about, the crash, what they heard, what they saw, the news footage, the stuff that the anchors, TV anchors said, just all of it. It was just tormenting me to the point where it was just affecting my life. It was, just about to take my mind. So Tony and I made a decision that we had to look that demon in the face. So we did. We decided to go to the crash site. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with the story, our son died in a plane crash, and it crashed about 4 minutes after takeoff in a field, a wooded area right off of Crone Road, right near the Memphis exit. And so we decided, and our counselor advised us that we had to get a different mental picture. So we decided to go to the crash site. We were both anxious about that. So we contacted our small group, and we met, and we got in a circle and we held hands, and they prayed for us that God would be with us and that He would protect our minds. So we did. We went out there. We both had obviously a lot of anxiety about what we were going to see, and once we got there, it was pretty overwhelming. To be, I mean, this was like February. The crash happened in November, so most all of the plane wreckage and debris had been removed because it was all, evidence. But there was still debris there, and I was just kind of rummaging around in the area. I wanted to see where Andrew died, and the news made it sound like that there was a pit or a big place in the ground where the cockpit hit, and I was looking for that. And it really wasn't anything like what they described. And so I was just kind of meandering around all in the area where I thought the cockpit hit, and I was just kind of frantic, to be honest, and just I don't know what I thought I was going to find. I guess I was just looking for Andrew. And and I felt the Holy Spirit whisper, in my heart, not audibly. I heard him say, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead?" And at that point, I just stopped, and I meandered over where Tony was, and um, we sat down on a tree that the plane, and as it came through the woods, had knocked down, and um, there was a lot of debris from the trees. There was the tops of the trees in that area were burned out. And I just remember one person commenting that the path that the plane kind of took through the woods there kind of made the shape of a cross. and I was able to see it after he pointed it out. Thank you, Sean Hall. And Tony and I were sitting on that log, and we just decided to just kind of sit in stillness and just listen to the sounds of the woods and the quietness and the stillness of it. As the wind blew, you could hear the trees rustling, you could hear the birds. In fact, I saw a dove fly over us as we were sitting there. We prayed, we listened to some Lauren Daigle music, um, and we kind of felt a peace because Andrew was such an outdoorsman, and we knew that there'd be no other place that he would rather rest than in the woods. So we had, a different mental picture. It was very difficult, but yet it was healing in a way. But the way the stone ended up coming to be where it is now, I really really wanted to place something there at the crash site, just something small, just a small plaque, just to have something, where Andrew died. We just really wanted that, and we approached the landowners twice, and twice they said no. And then I received a phone call on my voicemail of them telling us, that we were never allowed on the property again. So that door was definitely closed. Um, so we just let it be. Then Tony and I, on Andrew's birthday, we went to the airport, Clark County Airport, and we sat out there at the FBO that Andrew flew out of. We were set on the rocker that Erica had placed there, and we watched the planes come in and land. Um, and we were just both just kind of just sitting there, just taking it all in. And there was a flagpole right in front of the entrance to the hangar, and um, he said, I wonder if they would let us put a plaque here, at the base of the flagpole. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. So we contacted the airport manager, and we met with him, and he was the first person actually on the crash site that day. He was there within 30 minutes of the plane going down. And he was very kind. And as we began to tell him our story of how we couldn't put it at the crash site and wanted to know if there would be a way we could put it there at that flagpole. And he said, guys, he said, why not put it at the flagpole at the entrance to the airport? Well, we were just shocked and so honored that he would consider allowing us to do that. So we met with him a few times, and the plans came together, and that's what we were able to do. So we were just so thankful for him suggesting that we do that. We just felt so honored. So what I'd like for you to do, if you've already been past there, I have a hashtag that I'd like for you to comment down below. I want to show you something. On the back of Andrew's stone is a poem, and we have it hanging on our wall in the dining room, and it's entitled, If You Could See Me Now. So I'd like to read it to you if I can get through it. If you could see me now, you wouldn't shed a tear, though you may not understand why I'm no longer here. Remember my spirit, that's the real me. I'm still very much alive. Oh, if you could only see. I've beheld my Father's face. I've touched my Savior's hand. The angels all rejoice as I enter the promised land. Beyond the gates of pearl, I walk on golden streets. I've touched the walls of jasper, dipped my feet in the crystal sea. The beauty is beyond words, nothing can compare. I've seen your mansion, someday I'll meet you there. Allow Jesus to be your guide. His words will show you the way. So please don't cry. We'll meet again someday. So that's on the back of Andrew's stone. So I would like you to use that hashtag. Now, I know many of you, like I've already said, have already been past there and contacted us. And I can't tell you how much that means that you took the time to go and you took the time to message us. So thank you so much. So if you've already been, or if you do have the time to stop by and see it, if you could just comment below with the hashtag Andrew, if you could see me now, it would just mean so much to us. Thank you. And I just want to say um, one more thing. This is what I've learned. My plan was to put a plaque, a memorial at the crash site because I really wanted a place for Jackson and Sophia to be able to visit their dad's memory. And when that door was shut, my heart was just crushed. I was just heartbroken. But what God's plan was is so much better because now, um, you know, Andrew started his career there when he was a young man. He's 17 years old. He got his private pilot certificate there. It was called HAPS at the time. So we have many wonderful memories there. I remember I took my mother one time because she paid for one of his flight lessons. And just outside of the office of the airport was a bench. And there was a speaker outside where you could hear the communication going on between the pilots and the control inside. And I remember taking her, and she could hear Andrew communicating with them, and it brought her so much joy. And she said she was so proud of him, and she said, "We've never had a pilot in the family." And Tony and I also have so many wonderful memories there too, because we got to watch Andrew, do his takeoffs and his landings, and we were we were able to sit on that bench when he did his first cross country flight, which was nerve wracking. But we heard him communicate with the tower as he was leaving, and then before we could see him, in the sky coming back, we could hear his voice again. So there's just so many memories we have there that were just so wonderful. And then, of course, he took his last flight from that airport as well.